Now, over the past few weeks, there's been a lot of media hype about Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg having a cage match. And Mark Zuckerberg posted a picture of himself shirtless, and the guy looks to be in pretty good shape. But as a guy with a net worth over $100 billion, he has the means to have the best trainers, eat the best foods. The average American does not. And I wanted to bring that to light because 1 out of 4 of all Americans currently have medical debt, and 2 out of 3 of all bankruptcies in the United States are now directly caused by medical expenses. So the elite are looking pretty good, but Americans on the bottom, they're not looking great. They're saddled with debt, they're out of shape, they're eating the worst foods, and if you want a country that's going to move forward, that's going to grow, you need a healthy population. And this is likely a cause why we have so many shortages across every sector in America. You have so many people who are unhealthy to work. Now, staying on the topic of health, 50% of small and medium-sized businesses have seen an increase in employees with complex health needs or multiple long-term conditions since before the pandemic. So, again, if the population is not healthy, well, you're not going to have enough workers. That's going to put a strain on the existing workforce. And this is likely why you're seeing so many people geek out. There's so many videos popping up every day of people just spazzing out. You have to wonder, is this a mental illness, or are these people just cracking due to the pressures that's being exerted from doing 2 or 3 jobs? Now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average has had its longest winning streak since 2017, and I believe it's been up 11 days in a row now. And as I've said, once they were able to get the debt debacle done, that this market was sore, and I believe this market is going to march to all-time highs before the end of the year. We're almost there, basically, and along with the stock market soaring, you're going to see inflation come along for the ride, and we're already seeing it. Everything is inching back up, so these price pressures are going to exert even more pressure on the American consumer. So right now, I can't think of a tougher time in America where interest rates and mortgage rates are where they are, and the savings rate is where it is, and you're seeing commodities and everything go back up. And look at the health of the people. I mean, just the mental health of the population. So America is just not in a good spot. I don't see where things get better. There's nothing on the horizon that I see that can fix this slow death, this slow crumble of the American economy. Now, just a few weeks ago, the White House announced that there would be $42 billion in funding to make sure everyone in the United States had access to the internet by 2030. And I did a video maybe a month ago on the amount of cord cutting, the amount of people who are cutting the cord, who are getting rid of cable. It's never been at the high that it is now. So it almost seems like wasted money that you're going to fund construction of these wires into people's homes, but at the same time, a record amount of people are cutting cable simply because they can't afford it. So everyone will have access to the internet by 2030, but half of the people will not be able to afford it. Now, in the last few weeks, we've seen quite a bit of economic news that tells us that this economy is slowing down. Now, it's not enough to ring alarm bells by the economists to say, hey, we're going into a recession. But for someone like me, when I see these numbers, I know things are even worse. And so here's something. Texas factory activity continued to slow in June. You would think Texas, you hear a lot about Texas, the growth in Texas, people moving to Texas. Well, it doesn't look like Texas is doing all that great. Now, Texas may ultimately shine as oil prices move up. So that may be a safe haven for Texas. But if the Texas factory activity is slowing, what's it doing in other states? What's it doing in states that are riddled with more debt, that don't have that oil base, that petroleum base? So I don't think everything is as rosy as the media is saying.